Hi, Ray. Mitch Tanenbaum here. Today, I'm going to talk just for a few minutes about the horrors of BYOD, or bring your own device. There are a lot of companies who allow employees to use their own devices. This is especially true for mobile devices like phones and pads. The challenge is we're seeing that our dear friends at LastPass have discovered is that if you don't own the device, if you don't control the device, then you are really running the risk of your employees doing what's convenient for them. You have no idea what software is on the device. You have no idea whether the software is stealing your information. We saw that, for example, with the National Security Agency when one of their employees took their newest code home that they were developing to go break into companies, and they sent that to a company in Russia, Kaspersky, because that's whose antivirus the employee was using, and he had checked the box and said, "Gee, if you see something really strange, send it to Kaspersky." I'm sure the Russians are still laughing about that. That here, the NSA or CIA, I forget what, I think it was the NSA, spent all this money developing this new thing, and now they just kind of gave it for free to Russia. But closer to home, we're seeing this with LastPass. The problem was that the employee had a particular graphics package. It's apparently a fairly well-respected graphics package, so that's not the problem. And the problem was that there was a bug in it. The bug was patched in 2020. The employee had not bothered to upgrade the software since then. And of course, the company had no visibility because this was his own personal computer. PC, Mac, doesn't make any difference. I think it was a Mac, but I don't remember. The problem is, right, you don't know that the software is out of date. And apparently, according to the company that makes the software that was compromised, they had actually released 75 new versions of the software since that particular vulnerability was patched. And he hadn't bothered to install any of them. So, yes, it's convenient for employees and kind of employee friendly in the sense of employees like it when they can go use their own devices. On the other hand, this is probably going to cost LastPass tens of millions of dollars for the result of that. And, would they have necessarily caught it if it was a company-owned computer? Well, I think if they had their act together, they certainly would have caught it. The other thing you don't have is you don't have any logging or monitoring alerting on an employee-owned device because it's not instrumented. And so you don't know that the bad guys were in there and what they got. And so that from a breach standpoint, if you have your employee and they're using their own computer and the bad guys get in there, then you have to assume everything was compromised. You really don't have any choice but to assume that. It's kind of the worst case nuclear option in terms of breaches because you don't have any instrumentation on that user's computer. So there's a couple ways you can deal with it. None of them are as easy as just letting people use their own computer, but you might want to consider, what your risk tolerance is, and is it worth saving money for a few bucks for some laptops versus the exposure you have from letting people use their own computers and potentially causing a breach, which you are now liable for. If you have questions, if you want to help working on this, if you want some ideas and things you can do and stuff, please reach out to us for sure. Other than that, until next time, stay safe. Thanks.
Turnkey Cybersecurity and Privacy Solutions offers the complete cybersecurity program for small to medium-sized